how I would hit $10,000 per month as soon as possible if I had to start all over again. Now, to give you guys some context on how I actually hit that 10K per month mark when I first ever got it, was 4 years ago when I first got started with my first ever business as an entrepreneur. I worked every single day for 9 months, a day in, day out, literally not having a life other than my business. And I pretty much got nowhere. I made no money other than like less than $1,000. And literally, as soon as I realized the secret that I'm about to show you guys in this video, what happened was I went from 0 to over 25K per month in 6 weeks. And then within 6 months of actually starting, I was at 50K per month profit already. So that shows you the power of what I'm about to go through. But it wasn't just me. This is also a straight screenshot of my revenue when I was at that point. So it wasn't just me. I've obviously, after doing this, it was about a year and a half ago when I first did this, or 2 years ago. After doing this for myself, I then started to show some other guys who wanted my help, who saw what I did. I showed them how to do it for themselves too. So a few examples. A guy called Amir, a 19-year-old, and trust me, he was a complete beginner in business. He did what I did, and he closed his first client for 5K per month within 3 weeks. Owen, again, 20-year-old complete beginner from the US, closed 2 clients within 2 weeks of starting. Adam closed a 20K upfront deal within 3 weeks of starting. Tobias closed a 5.3K per month deal within 1 week of starting. And Adam closed a 15K upfront deal within around a month of starting. So what is the secret? The secret is to win the 10K per month game, you have to start playing the 100K per month game. Listen to that one again. To win the 10K per month game, you have to start playing the 100K per month game properly. So what does this actually mean? What do I mean by this? And I want to give you a perspective shift that may actually be a bit crazy. When I realized this myself, when I was thinking about this video, this is really crazy to think about because it's actually the truth. So think about this. Just as the matrix, as we call it, or the system or the government in the normal world, right? The normal world that we know keeps the average person locked into a vicious cycle, that we call the 9-to-5 rat race, university, 9-to-5, all that kind of stuff, by making them believe that, university, 9-to-5 mortgage is the best and safest thing to do. And that's like what they should perceive as success in their life in order to control them the most. And also second, the most important, to profit from them the most. The same thing happens in the system that we are in right now, the system that brought you to this video, the online business world, the making money online world. The gurus, as we could call it, the guys who are the biggest in the space, the guys who are pushing the biggest courses, who are selling everybody on their courses and programs, who have the biggest YouTube channels and the biggest Instagrams, they act as the matrix of the system in this world we live in. And they push us to think that all of these, they call money-making methods, SMMA, drop shipping, copywriting, appointment setting, remote sales, affiliate marketing, growth operating, drop servicing, service arbitrage. There's hundreds of them. But all of these business models or money-making methods, they push to us when we're beginners. They do this and they make us believe that they are the easiest and best path to get to 10K per month, as a beginner especially. And they label us as a beginner, which then kind of creates a belief in us that we are a beginner. And then, the only businesses we actually can start are the ones that they're telling us that we can start. So that keeps us in this state of struggling to make our first bit of money online. And when we're in this state, when we're just struggling to make our first ever bit of money, that is when we are the most vulnerable we can ever be. That is when we're the most emotionally invested. That is when we just really want to do anything that can work, to just make some money, to just see if it's, if it's possible, if it's not a scam. So that is when we are in the state to where they can sell us the easiest on their courses, their programs, mentorships, whatever it is can be. Again, just like the government does with the average person, the gurus can profit from us the most. Now think about that, because that is the truth. When I realized that, it's so clearly, if you compare, how the system works in the normal world, how the system works in the online business world, especially with social media and YouTube, it's literally copy and paste, the exact same. So how do we actually break out of this struggle? Because trust me, I was in this struggle for those whole 9 months. Those whole 9 months, I was watching YouTube videos every single day in and day out, watching all the gurus, Iman Gaji, all the other guys in the SMMA world. Because I actually got started in the SMMA world as well. When I was 17, for over 9 months, I was in it trying to figure out how to make some money, but it never worked. So how do you actually break out of this struggle that I just talked about? Being in this state where you're just trying to struggle to make your first bit of money online, to hit this magical number that the gurus and the whole, online business world has created to be the magical number where we are going to change our lives as soon as we hit this number. And like I said before, it's to play the 100K per month game. You have to realize that it may sound a bit mad right now, but 10K is actually a very, very simple, minimal, and meaningless number to hit after doing it at the age of 17 and doing it at least 4 or 5 more times with different businesses in the last 3 to 4 years. It's not a magical number to hit. It's not very hard to hit. It's only hard because, we're going to go through it, but in short, it's only hard because we're being programmed to believe that it's hard with the current set of beliefs that are instilled in us through watching all these YouTube videos that we have watched in the courses and the Instagram reels and comparing ourselves to everyone that we see out there making videos. So why do we actually find it so hard? There's 2 main reasons. So the first one, like I said, is we are instilled with the belief, and this goes deep. When we are watching these videos every single day, day in, day out, we see all these people getting results and scaling their agencies or whatever business it is that they started, talking about how much money they make, especially the gurus that are trying to teach you and push upon you these business models and their courses. We are instilled subconsciously in your subconscious mind to the point where you're not even aware of it, the beliefs that 10K per month is the most life-changing number. And also the hardest number to hit. A lot of gurus you'll see in their reels, they say that 10K per month is the hardest number to hit, and everything past that is quite easy. So we are forced to believe that is the truth. That this is why it's so hard. Actually, it's so hard to hit 10K per month. It's such a hard number to make, and therefore what happens is subconsciously a very, very deep-rooted fear that we are not even aware of. And this was a fear that actually was the reason as to why I procrastinated so much in the first 9 months of my journey, which didn't allow me to actually hit 10K per month. Is created. And it's forced to make us feel like and think that we are beginners in this business game. So we can only do the only options for us are to do what is most beginner friendly, because everything else, all the other business models, all the other, whatever else it could be, is too hard. It's not for beginners. I'm a beginner. I don't have any skills, don't have any experience. So I need to figure out what I can do to just hit 10K per month and then figure out what I'm going to do from there. But that is some of the biggest BS that I was told in my journey. And it's something that I've really tried. I'm trying hard to help as many people as possible to realize that is just complete BS. And it will honestly just ruin your life as an entrepreneur. So then what happens when you have these beliefs instilled in you is we get stuck in the cycle of wasting months like I did, or even years like I've seen some other guys have, of putting in their energy and their efforts on these low-level, unsophisticated money-making methods that we find when you just search up online how to make money online, how to hit 10K per month. That is the stuff that will come up. None of that stuff will actually be what you should be doing. And gurus make us believe that they are the most, like I said, beginner-friendly, that's a bullshit term, but beginner-friendly ways to make money and to get to this magical number of 10K per month. So the harsh truth that I want you all to realize, and what I realized that changed my life, is every single, and I literally mean this for a fact, every single beginner friendly money-making method is not going to be the thing that gets you to 10K per month. Now, yes, it may be physically possible in the world to use these business models and hit 10K per month, and it was much more possible back in the day, 2018, 2019, but especially now, how sophisticated the overall business market is, especially when you are trying to approach clients or trying to start a business. It's been done too much. All these money-making methods, no matter how nice they sound, how new they sound, especially these new ones like AI automations, all this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what term they use, they won't work. They won't actually get you to 10K per month profit per month. That's just the harsh truth. So the sooner you realize that, the better it's going to be for you. So what's actually the real reason as to why these will never work? There's 2 things, like I said. The first thing is the customer that you're going to be selling to. The potential customers and clients that you're going to be, selling to with these business models, or trying to attract to sell your whatever it is going to be, the offer, or the service, or the product. These people or businesses are, not actually, physically capable of paying you any significant amount. So it's extremely unlikely that you'll get enough of them to actually hit 10K per month in profit, especially in profit's a big number. A big thing, not just revenue, but actually profit. So for example, you're going to be selling a solution or a service to people that don't even have enough money to pay themselves 5 to 10K per month. So how can they pay you numbers like 5 to 10K per month? So the max they'll afford is $500 to maybe 1K per month, maybe 1.5K per month on the really high end side. So all these businesses or industries you'll be working with are things like local businesses, broke people in general that want to make money, struggling business owners, etc., etc. That is the main, target audience of all of these business models that you're being taught, or money making methods that you're being taught from gurus. And the second thing is that is your positioning and your value in this money making method. And the only way you can actually charge a potential customer a significant amount is by being of real value to them. And any money making method or side hustles or beginner friendly business models, you're not actually being of value. That's a really harsh truth you need to realize. You're not actually being of real value to anybody. No business, no person. You're just trying to just scalp some money, trying to take a bit of a profit margin on top of something that they can get anywhere else, or just not really solve any problems for them. So it's going to be pretty much impossible to actually make enough money or sell enough of your product or service to genuinely make 10K per month in profit. So for example, you only profit $500 per customer, client, or sale that you get. Getting 10 to 20 of those every single month and being able to manage them all yourself, so you don't have to pay most of the money away to a team or freelancers or whatever else to outsource everything, is not very easy. Having 10 or 20 customers just to make 10K per month, it's insane. You can't manage that all yourself. So what does being of value actually mean? When I say being of value, what do I really mean by that? So being of value is when you solve someone's problems or remove someone's pain. And when you play in the 10K per month game, you're forced to do either one of these three things, right? So the first one is, like I said, you're not actually solving any problems for anyone, really. You're just trying to find ways to make money from people. Could be arbitrage, could be drop servicing or drop shipping, or the problem you're solving, if you are solving some form of a problem, isn't actually important enough for the people you're solving it for. Therefore, they won't actually want to pay you, significant amounts to actually solve that problem. And second is, the people you are solving the problems for, like I said before, don't actually have the ability to pay you large amounts. To pay you, 5 to 10K per month, for example, they're actually not making enough money to actually pay you that. It's not just about what you're doing for them. It's who you're actually trying to attract, who you're actually trying to sell to. Usually with these online money making methods and these side hustles, who you're trying to work with and who you're trying to attract will never actually be capable of paying you that much, especially in this, the state the economy is in right now. If you're trying to work with, anyone but, businesses that are making lots of money, it's very, very hard to get paid any significant amount. So then, therefore, makes it very hard to actually hit 10K per month in profit every single month. The third thing is, the solution or service that you are offering isn't leveraged enough. Now, I'll explain what that means. Leveraged means that the way it's structured, positioned, and some other things as well, to demand large amounts. What I mean by that is 5K plus, whilst being able to scale the number of clients or customers you have rapidly. So what that means is, it's most likely just going to be you with no team to do the work for you. That's what I mean by leveraged. Leverage. What I really mean is not just being a glorified employee or a glorified freelancer. You have to not just being you doing all the work, and then obviously charging based off your time, pretty much just getting paid per hour. You'll never really hit 10K per month if you just charge for your time, really. And also as well, and a really important part of that is with a good profit margin, because you may see these business models like e-commerce or all these other crazy business models that you may see online that talk about hitting 10K, 20K, 30K days, 100K days. But you have to realize that most of the gurus who are talking about this kind of stuff, even though, yes, they may be making 100K a month, their profit margin is only 10%. And to trying to build a 100K per month business just to make 10K per month in actual money you keep in your pocket at the end of the month is a complete waste of time. And this is the case, like I said, with all these businesses online. I've only listed a few of them: SMMA, dropshipping, growth operating, copywriting, appointment setting, remote sales, dropshipping. All these business models have one of these problems. And if they have one of these problems, it's just kind of a harsh truth and a fact that it's impossible and at least not likely at all to hit 10K per month, especially as a beginner. So what is the answer to actually hitting 10K per month very easily? That is to build a vehicle or what I mean by a business where you offer a leveraged service that is of a lot of value, which means you're solving a big problem or removing a big pain for successful businesses. Very important point there, that both have the ability to pay you large amounts, but they will also value your solution or your service or your product enough to want to pay you large amounts. So that's two very, very important points that you have to realize but you have to have both of them. You have to first actually be trying to work with or sell to companies that genuinely have the ability to pay you large amounts, but also you have to actually have a product or a service or a solution that they would want to pay large amounts for. And what does that look like in reality? It looks like a business model that I developed when I was 17, or actually I was 17/18 when I kind of first hit 10K per month. When I realized I was an SMMA when I first started, and I realized how just overall shit the business model was, and how it was never going to take me to where I want to be in life. And from that point in my life, and especially in business, I tried to come up with a business model, a way that I can actually get to where I want to be in life. And that is what I called a growth partner agency. Now let's break that down word by word, because each word has a very significant meaning. So the first thing, growth. So growth means you are solving the problem of growth for companies. The companies that you work with, it's a service-based business, and what you are doing, your service is now growth. That is what you are doing for the companies you work with. And the way you do growth is by implementing your chosen method of growth in these companies. And I'll explain what that means in a little bit. Partner means you partner with companies in the world's biggest industries. That is a very, very important point. The world's biggest industries, not the smallest industries. Like I talked about before, local business, whatever, kind of business models of the past and kind of industries of the past that are kind of dying out. You don't work with them. You only work with the world's biggest industries. Therefore, the lead, in terms of the kind of customers you are going to be working with, the clients you're going to be working with, all of them will have the ability to pay you large amounts. So you partner with them on a long-term basis, meaning that you don't have to find new customers every single month, and you get paid both a monthly retainer plus a revenue share. It's a very, very important part of this business model. So what that looks like is you get paid at least 5 to 10K per month, and also 5 to 15% of the revenue you generate for that company, which means that each client you work with can pay you obviously a minimum of 5K per month, but it could be up to 15, even 20, even 25K per month, especially if you add on the revenue share, which is obviously what I experience with the type of clients that I work with and have worked with up until this point. And then the word agency, what that means is that you have a team fulfilling all the services for you. They're doing the day-to-day work for you. And also as well, you have multiple offerings or offers that you can sell to companies. It's not just one thing that you do for companies. So like I said, a growth partner agency really is the answer to playing the 100K per month game as a complete beginner, just like I was. Obviously, when I first started, when I made this shift, I was a complete beginner. I had no idea about the industry that I was working with, about the companies that I was going to be working with, about the chosen method of growth that I chose, about what I was doing. I just figured it out. And I've come to realize after I did that a year and a half ago, that is why I went on to help a lot of the people that you saw in the just that I showed you at the start. Obviously, there are like 5 or 10 of them, but I've helped close to 100 by now do this exact same process as a complete beginner. They all didn't have any experience in business whatsoever. So why are you actually able to charge this kind of money, and why is this the answer to the 100K per month game? And that is because you can charge 5 to 10K per month per client with 70 to 80% margins, profit margins, while having a full team, specialized team, not just freelancers or some random people or VAs that fulfill the service for you and do the day-to-day work for you. And that, like I said, what we talked about up here, in terms of the problems you encounter and the problems that all these business models have that you see online, this is the answer. You no longer have those problems. But because you can charge high amounts, because you're working with the right people and providing them the right service, but also as well, you're keeping most of the money as well. So it's not like e-com where like you may make 100K a month, but you keep 10% of it, and then have to pay your team from there. You make 5 to 10K per month per client, and you get to keep 70 to 80% of it, and that is your whole team paid for. And also you yourself, you're not getting paid for your time. You're not getting paid to do all the work. You're getting paid to build the team, build the system, and pretty much, just run the business. So how can this happen? Why are you able to actually charge 5 to 10K per month and keep these profit margins and have a team do this for you? So the first thing, like I said, is you're able to work with established and successful companies. You're not working with companies that want to get started or kind of want to get their first 10K per month. You're working with companies that are already making at least 50K a month, if not even much, much more than that. I've worked with multiple 7-figure per month companies, companies that are worth over 100 million. And that's the type of companies that you can work with a growth partner agency. And also as well, very importantly, is that you're working with companies in the world's most cash abundant industries, not industries like real estate or local business or restaurants or cafes that are barely making enough money to stay afloat themselves. You're working with companies that have loads of money, either with investment or from their profits that they want to invest into somebody that can solve these problems for them. So there's 3 industries that I recommend working with as a growth partner agency, and I don't really recommend you go outside these industries. You can, it could be possible, but one of the main aspects of a growth partner agency is that you choose to work with the world's biggest industries, and that comes into 3 industries that I have chosen and I've personally worked with. The first one is the one that I mainly work with, which is e-commerce companies. These are brands online that are selling physical products. The second one is infoproduct or e-learning companies. These are companies online that are selling digital products, courses, programs, mentorships, information, wherever it could be. And the last one is SaaS and app companies. These are companies selling softwares or apps to consumers online. Now, with all these types of companies, their minimum revenue, like I said, will be 50 to 100K per month at least. So paying you 5 to 10K per month is not the majority of their business. It's a very kind of cost efficient, small investment for them, especially if you can actually solve their problem for them. So, and this goes on to the second point, which is the reason you can charge this much money as a complete beginner is you're going to be solving one of their biggest problems, and that is obviously growth. Meaning that clients are happy to pay you, at least 5 to 10K per month. You could even go much more than this, but 5 to 10K per month is a good starting point for a beginner. Plus a revenue share if you solve that problem for them. Because if you look at the alternative options they have, it will probably cost them a lot more than 5 to 10K per month. And also as well, not just with the money, but it will cost them effort and energy and time trying to bring on employees and build a team themselves and work with multiple other freelancers or agencies trying to do the same thing that you would as a growth partner agency. So that is why it's actually cost efficient for them to pay you 5 to 10K per month. It's not like you're just charging them that much because of no reason. There's a very clear reason that they will see themselves as to why you're charging that much money and how it makes sense for them to pay you that much money. And the third thing is you're going to be positioned to, as a business, as the business model that you're building in terms of who you're working with, the type of money you're making from each client, and also the type of clients you're working with, to build a specialized in-house team to fulfill your services for you, rather than doing all the work yourself. Honestly, for me at this point now, I don't do any of the work myself when it comes to my growth partner agency. I've stopped doing the work for months and months because I have a team now that does everything for me. I just kind of take calls. I manage my team. I talk to the clients. When I bring on a new client, I may do some strategy with them. But apart from that, the day-to-day work is all done by my team. And I still keep at least 70%, 80% margins. And also as well, a very important point is that you're not just going to be outsourcing the work to freelancers that will take, for example, 50 to 60% of the actual money. A lot of business models out there teach you to kind of do this service arbitrage or drop servicing, as they call it, where you may send a client on, but then you're giving away 60% of that for somebody else to do the work. This is not that. This is not a business where you give away the majority of your margins and not do any of the work, not to actually build a specialized team that you're proud of, especially to do the work for you and to service your clients, actually get results for them. So what this means is that you can scale up to the amount of clients that you need to hit 10K per month or even 50K per month like I have. But that was back then. Now I'm much higher than that. But back then, you're actually able to do that whilst keeping 70 to 80% margin, and that is the exact kind of margins that I keep right now. Even though I'm at the point I'm at now with the amount of clients that I have, and these are all the reasons, like I said, that I hit zero. I went from 0 to 50K per month in profit in 6 months as a complete beginner. When I started, like I said, I was a complete beginner. Didn't have any experience in anything that I did before, and reasons. These are the reasons as well that anyone, no matter what their previous skill set or previous experience, can do the exact same too. This is why I'm showing you in this video. So to give you some context as well, this is like a very recent screenshot, kind of like the last month screenshot from my agency in terms of our revenue. I'm not sure what this is in dollars, but it's around 63.8K pounds. So to give you context in terms of what my agency does. So my growth partner agency partners with e-com brands and helps them grow through TikTok, content creators, and paid advertising. Obviously there's detailed stuff from there, but that is kind of the overview in terms of what we do for brands. We help them grow, scale through TikTok, through content creators, and through paid advertising on things like TikTok as well as Facebook and Instagram. So, and also as well, these are some of the companies that I've worked with. I've worked with quite a few more, but these are some of the companies that I've worked with since I started out. And obviously, like I said, I started as a complete beginner. And even though I was a complete beginner, just because I was positioned like a growth partner agency, I was able to attract and have the trust of companies like this, companies that are worldwide global brands and companies that are worth millions, if not even hundreds of millions. They still want to work with me because I'm actually solving real problems for them and I'm positioned in the right way, even though I was a beginner. Obviously, they didn't know that, but I was a beginner. So what are actually the steps to hitting 10K per month in recurring revenue quickly, especially? So one thing I wanted to say is that I dive deep into the exact steps that anyone, even with zero business experience, can take to build a growth partner agency and sign their first 5 to 10K per month clients within 90 days, just like I did, of course, inside of my free community. So the link to join is going to be in the description. Go ahead and click there. In the free community, I have a free course where I pretty much show the exact steps that I took, that anyone can copy as well, to build this business model from scratch. And the reason that it's free is because I'm not trying to make money from it. It's not a business for me. For me, this is something that I always wanted to build at some point in my journey. When I was 17, didn't have anybody guiding me, didn't have any mentors or anybody showing me what to do in exact detail. I was obviously stuck in the SMMA world. You may be stuck in whatever else business model you may be in. So I built this to be free, completely free, where I can show you guys and give you guys the same transformation in your life, and especially in business, that I had when I was 18, when I had this transformation that allowed me to 10K per month easily. And also one thing that I'm doing in honor of this video is giving away. Everyone in the community has the chance and the opportunity to book in a one-on-one call with me completely for free, no payments whatsoever, where I can help you build the roadmap properly, get real clarity on how you can actually build a 10K per month growth partner agency within 90 days. And obviously I'm doing this only for the next few weeks. I won't be doing this forever. I only have a limited amount of time. So yeah, it usually costs around $500 to get me on a call. But like I said, this is a passion for me. I really enjoy seeing people have the same transformation and realization that they can build a business like this. Most people don't even realize that this exists. So this is why I'm doing it for free, because I feel like the amount of change that I can make in the world with these guys building real growth partner agencies rather than all these rubbish side hustles and all these money making methods is going to be a massive impact on the world. So that's why I'm doing it. So what to do is go ahead, click the link in the description to join, and then in there you'll see the instructions on how you can book in a one-on-one call with me. We can jump on a call on Zoom and I can run you through exactly what you need to be doing to build your own growth partner agency and actually hit 10K per month rapidly. So the first step to actually building this is to become a desirable expert in the chosen industry and method of growth that you have chosen. So what this means is to actually be of value to your ideal clients, you first have to actually have valuable knowledge. So this is knowledge that on how their biggest problems, which is obviously growth, can be solved in the most efficient way, which will be your chosen method of growth. Now, some examples of the methods of growth that I would choose for each industry, and these are very proven. Like I've done this myself. I've used these methods of growth myself to offer to clients, and also the guys that I've mentored personally and taught personally have used these methods of growth, and this is what allows them to charge 5 to 10K per month really quickly, like even as a beginner. So in e-commerce, the method of growth that I would choose, that I have chosen myself, of course, is growing brands through TikTok. So that's working with creators as affiliates, creating and running UGC, which is user-generated content, as paid ad creatives, which pretty much just mean ads, on Facebook, Instagram, and also TikTok, and also then utilizing TikTok Shop and growing their brand organically. For info products and e-learning companies, I would recommend growing info products by growing an organic audience through short form and long form content on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then converting that audience using a proven sales system. And for SaaS and app, I would recommend growing softwares or apps through growing, again, an organic audience, utilizing short form and long form content, as well as creating and running UGC, user generated content, as paid ad creatives on Facebook and Instagram. And a common misconception that holds a lot of people back, and this is like the beginner friendly kind of concept that the gurus instill in us, is that you need to have worked with companies in the past, had past experience, have case studies already, have skills you've already developed in the past to become an expert in an industry and therefore charge these kind of big amounts. But the truth is, and I'm telling you this truth not just from an idea, but it's genuinely what I experienced and also what the experience was for all the guys that I've ever taught that have done this for themselves, that I showed you in the beginning, and also much more like that. You can gain all the theoretical knowledge pretty much that you will actually need to be an expert in the chosen method of growth and for the certain industry that you've chosen as well within 4 weeks, as long as you do research correctly and you study correctly. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So how do you actually do research correctly? The first thing is you're going to find creators. This could be agency owners, company owners that are actually in the industry, consultants, posting content, which could be advice, case studies, strategy, breakdowns, examples of what they've done, anything like that, on the method of growth that you've chosen. on platforms like X and Twitter, which is the best one in my opinion, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. Then second, you're going to go through all of their content regularly, study the content that gives advice, that breaks down the strategies, case studies, examples, whatever it may be that you can find. Third thing is look deeper into the resources and trainings and case studies that they release through maybe it's their email list, maybe they have a community, maybe they have a website, whatever it could be, and study everything that they put out. And the reason as to why this stuff is so good is because they are putting this out to actually get clients themselves in this industry. So if they're putting this stuff out to get clients themselves, the quality of the information they're putting out has to be really good. So you can kind of intercept this information, even though you're not really going to be a client for them, and see exactly what they are doing in detail in terms of the process they're using, in terms of the strategies they're using. So you can pretty much acquire the same knowledge they have, especially when it comes to the theoretical understanding of how it should be done. And the level of like information in terms of how the level of quality of the information that's out there right now is extremely high. It's easier than it's ever been in the world to genuinely become an expert in these industries within 2 to 4 weeks. And it's exactly what I did. I only took maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of genuinely studying every single day for a couple hours every single day, and that was all it took for me to be genuinely confident on a sales call. And you can actually, in my free community, you can see me on my first ever sales call where I closed a 5K per month ecom brand, a 5K per month client, which was an ecom brand. And on that call, you could see that I was genuinely giving advice. I was genuinely being valuable to the CEO of the brand. And that only happened because I took 2 to 3 weeks to genuinely become an expert by researching properly. And also what you should do is you should build a hub where you store and break down all the information that you get from these creators and turn them into step-by-step processes, advice, and examples that you can follow yourself when you have clients, when you bring on clients in the future. And the fifth thing is find companies in this industry that you've chosen that are actually implementing this chosen method of growth that you've picked. Save examples of it, break down what they're doing, almost funnel hack their company and their online marketing presence, and you can kind of see exactly, in real life, how companies that are successful are implementing this method of growth, so you know how you can replicate this for other companies that you work with in the future. And like I said, if you do this properly, within 2 to 4 weeks, you can genuinely have enough knowledge to be confident in the strategy, at least, that needs to be implemented. And when it comes to technical details in terms of how to do it, that can be very easily figured out when you actually sit on a client. Like I said, even in my free community, I host a free weekly call. So a lot of the times those guys come on, they're asking questions about how to, the technical details of how to do something. And if there's all of these things available, especially my free community. So you have access to this kind of stuff where figuring out the small technical details shouldn't be a problem when it comes to actually sending on a client. A second thing is you need to build an offer that you can actually charge 5 to 10K per month for. So the next step is to build an offering that you can present to companies in your chosen industries that they will actually want to pay you 5 to 10K per month for. And like I said before, you can watch one of my sales calls in the free community, and you'll see that it wasn't me asking them, do you want to move forward? Do you want to pay me? It was them asking me, even though I was a complete beginner. Because I built my offer properly, they said to me, how can we get started? How can we work with you? How can we, just get going? And that's kind of all down to my offer on a sales call, because it's what I run through on a sales call in a sense. So how do you actually do that? So after studying the method of growth and the industry that you've chosen, you have to build an extremely detailed process that you would follow to take your ideal client from where they are to where they want to be. And this is what I call a growth system. This is one of the key parts of your growth partner agency. It's called your growth system. And for example, what a growth system could look like in a very, obviously vague overview is phase 1 will be everything that you will do to set up and launch whatever it is you're going to be doing. Phase 2 will be everything you would do to test and diversify what it is you're doing. And then phase 3 would be everything that you would do to scale everything up and become really profitable with that client. And number 2 is what happens after you build this growth system is you build your proposal doc for your main offer that will be used on sales calls with prospects. So this is called the offer, that your main offer is going to be called a growth partnership. And the proposal doc is going to be called the growth partnership proposal doc. And this should include a breakdown of all the downsides and cons of all of the alternative options that a client may have to reach the same end goal of working, of that they would reach if they were working with you. So, what would it look like if they're working with freelancers, if they're working with other types of agencies, if they were going to try to do it themselves? You break down what that would look like for them and all the downsides to it in terms of how much it would cost, how much effort it would be, etc., etc. Second thing is you break down your growth system and you break down also why it's their best option, why your growth system, why the way you do it is so beneficial for them compared to all the alternative options. And the last thing is you break down the pricing in a way that kind of like price anchors them to believe that 5 to 10k per month, whatever it is that you charge, is actually very cost efficient, and it's actually a steal for them in a sense. And also as well, then you presented them also the revenue share too, which they will respect, because you will have skin in the game, not just them. So the third thing that you will do, and this is the most crucial step to actually scaling up to 10k per month within 90 days, if not even shorter than that, to be honest. Like guys that I've taught, like I showed you at the start, took 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they were well past 5 to 10k per month. And also then not just 10k per month, because that's a very small number, like I said, but then also 50k per month within 6 to 12 months, is to build an automated client acquisition system that books in calls with qualified companies that are looking for help with the exact problems that you help solve. So how you do this, obviously, I'll go through a very short overview here. The first thing you need to do, actually you as the agency owner, is you need to set up and build the assets that you need to book in the calls with prospect clients or leads. So this looks like the messaging flows that you will use to reach out to clients for the first time. This you probably will set up optimized social media accounts like Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. You'll set up the email sequences that you will use to follow up with these leads for them to book in a call, and you'll maybe also film a Loom video, which will be almost like a video you'll use to get them to want to book in a call too, kind of pitching kind of almost why you're going to be the best fit for them. And the second thing that is the really important thing that very few people actually do, that was the biggest reasons to why I scaled to 50k per month within 6 months, was to have a VA, a virtual assistant, and a team member from the Philippines that you only pay maybe like $300 a month to, maybe even less than that if you want to, run the entire outreach system for you every single day. So my one VA that I brought on, trained, and paid $300 a month to, took my agency literally from 0 to at least 40k per month before I brought somebody else on to help them. Obviously after I built the system. So the numbers in terms of how that looks like, obviously when you build the system properly, it has to be done properly, and obviously I show you this in detail in my free community. The numbers that how it looked like for me and how it looked like for all the guys that I've taught. So your VA will reach out to, for example, 50 to 100 new companies per day. That should generate 150 to 300 warm leads per day, which means companies are interested in working with you, which then should mean that 10 to 15 of them will book in sales calls every single month. And then you should very easily, this is very, very conservative to be honest, you should very easily close 2 or 3 of them at least per month at 5 to 10k per month. And what that will mean is you will hit 10k per month profit within 30 to 60 days. That will be at least 3 to 4 clients. You'll be at 10k per month profit very simply. So yeah, that is pretty much the process. That is how simple it is, and I'm saying it's simple, but it's not. It's easy to a certain extent only if you do it properly. And obviously that is why I created the free community, so you can have access to the right information, and obviously have access to me too through the one-on-one call that you'll be able to book in with me, and also the weekly calls that I host within there as well that you can join. You can ask me anything every single week. It's not actually that hard to happen for it to happen, as long as you build the right systems and position yourself as a growth partner agency and not like an SMMA or any of these other business models or money making methods that you've seen online. So like I said, obviously I'll say it again, I go through the exact process that I used to close clients for my growth partner agency, which was the exact same process that I used to actually close those 5 clients in 1 week. That was the actual reasons to why I went from 0 to 25k on that 6th week. On the trainings that I've uploaded into my free community. So what to do is go ahead and click the link in the description. Go ahead and join there for free. There's no payments, nothing whatsoever. Join there. Go ahead and study the classroom contents and the trainings I upload in there, the free course I have in there. You can go ahead and book in your free call with me so I can help you actually have clarity in what it is you need to be doing. And then from there you can join the weekly calls, be a part of the community, be a part of the family, and also obviously these guys are going to be guys that are building the growth partner agencies as well. So you'll have these guys to share insights with, keep accountable with, and obviously that's not just just them, but also me as well. You'll have me to genuinely guide you and make sure you actually get to where you want to be with the growth partner agency. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed. I hope you found this valuable. And I look forward to seeing you inside the free community. Make sure you subscribe, comment down below how you found this video, kind of if you feel like this was the shift, this was the realization that you needed to have, because I'm sure it is for the majority of you, if not all of you. Because if I was shown this video, a video like this, when I was getting started, and when I was in that period of struggling to hit 10k per month, I would have hit 100k per month much quicker than I have already. So guys, much love. I will see you in the next video, and most importantly, I will see you inside the free community and hopefully on our one-to-one call that you will book in when you join. See you there.